Welcome. This is an introduction on how to make a form using Flowforms. We've we've made this process as simple as we can and stripped away a lot of the useless items that come with form builders. So once you've logged in, you can go to the admin section and create a new form. And you'll notice here are the options that you have. And we'll start with a small input field. So we click the button, we give it a name, and we'll call this, we want to get their email address. The example of an expected answer, you don't have to provide this, but you could put in here example@test.com. That's what we want to see for an email address. Help text is this little information right here below. So you could say something like, please provide your email address. This will toggle whether it's required or not, and we want this to be required, so we're going to add the form element. And you notice that it puts it over here, and this is what it looks like. So if we wanted to remove the help text, we could click the edit button, and we could remove that there, and click update form element, and this would be blank. You can also delete the form element here, and when there's multiple form elements, you can move them around with this little icon here. Let's keep going. Let's do a large input field. So we'll specify the name. We'll call this street address. We don't need to provide an example, expected answer, and we don't need to do the help text. So we'll add the form element. You'll notice this is an area where people can put in their full address. And then we'll do a content only area. So a content only area is if you just want to put in some information that the user needs to be able to see. It's not something that the user can fill out. Again, it'll say this is not something they can fill out. And you have all sorts of options: the bold, italic. You can do large items like a heading. So we could say after the email address and address, we could have a bit of text in here saying that we need to get their phone number, and we can give an explanation why. We need your phone number. It's important. And then we can give an exclamation point. We can make sure that the important here is bold, and if we wanted to make a link, so we could say, here is why we need your phone number. And then you could link to, you can insert a link, and we'll say http www. Let's see, google.com. Here's why we need your phone number. Insert. So now you have a link. You can put as much information as you want in here. Let's go ahead and click Add Form Element. So now you can see that this is that text that we have there. And let's say we wanted to change the where this is located on the page. So we can click here, and we can drag and drop it here, or we can drag and drop it at the top. Now this item will be first. And let's edit it. Let's say we actually want to say, please give us all your information. And we will say we want this as a heading too. Update the form element. Now you see that it's up there like that. Let's keep working our way down, and we're going to put in a drop-down. A drop-down box is where they have multiple options and they can select one. So we'll say this one's called career, and we want to have 3 options, and we'll click add options, and we want the first option to be you are a professional athlete. And if we want to have one initially selected, we can. So we'll just say that we want this initially selected. The second one is a teacher, and the third is a homemaker. Is that how you spell it? Yep. We can add new rows. We can remove rows in here. So let's say we thought we wanted to add another one, and we wanted to do you are a computer tech. So we can add that option, and now this will give us an example of what it looks like. This is our initially selected. We said professional athlete. If we want to edit it, we can edit it here. You can remove it if you'd like. You can see, let's say we don't have initially selected. So we update it, and now it'll just say your select options. So we can add this form element, and there it is. The next is radio and checkboxes. let's do a checkbox. This is where they can select multiple items, so it would be hobbies. And we'll do 3. And the first will be watching TV. The second will be singing. And just so you can see what it looks like, if I try to do singing again, you'll notice it gives me an error saying that you can't have the same one. So we will say sports. I like sports. And we'll add those. There they are. We'll add the form element. Here it is. And let's say we want to move this above. Let me drop it right there. And the last 3 are a date field. That's if you want to have the user input a date. There's an email address. Oh, see, we tried to get email up here, so let's remove this. We'll remove that, and we'll say we want an email field. This will just check to make sure that the email is formatted correctly. So, your email address. And we'll add that, and it'll put it at the bottom, but we want to put it at the top. And instead of clicking and dragging, let's just do this. Let's say we want it to be sort order 1, update it, and now it's up here at the top. Oops, we don't want it above this one. Let's say sort order 2. And there we go. The last one is a file upload. This is if you want the user to upload a file. You can put multiple file uploads on the page. But for now, let's just save this form. And if we try to save it without naming it, it's going to throw us an error. So you need a name. So we'll call this test form. And we'll save this form, and then it's going to land us on the page where we can see what it looks like on the page. We can add in accessibility and flow, but we're going to do that for a different video. I just want you to see the multiple places if you need to go back in and edit a form. You can do it here. You can edit form from here, and it'll take you to the page where you can edit this form. Or you can go to on a page where you have your forms. If you click that, as an admin, you'll see the option to edit the form here as well. That's a quick video on how we can create forms and edit them. Next up will be how to add flow to a form.